G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So it's April 1st, and this year, as I said on social media this morning, I won't be doing a joke video. 2020 has been more than enough of a joke for all of us, and frankly I'm not all that interested with everything that is going on. That said, there have been a few April Fool's events that have popped up, as they tend to at this time of year, and I wanted to have a poke through a couple of them. So first up this year, we are doing Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I wasn't expecting an April Fool's event out of them, but there is one, and I actually kind of hope it stays. So what Game Labs has done for their April Fool's event is add two new ship hulls, the USS Monitor and the CSS Virginia, the legendary Civil War ironclads of the Battle of Hampton Roads. Now, these ships changed the course of ship development that was to come after. And with them comes two new missions, one where you have to build your own version of the Monitor to sink the Virginia, which is the one we're doing now, and one where you have to do the reverse and build your own version of the Virginia to sink the Monitor. Now, my original plan with this was to try and actually build a genuine copy of the Virginia, and I actually did, and took it into battle. Unfortunately, the AI doesn't build a genuine version of the Virginia. So my genuine version of the Monitor got its ass handed to it. To give you an idea, the real Monitor was only around 1,000 tons, had a top speed of around 6 knots, had twin 11-inch guns, 8 inches of armor around the guns, 3 to 5 inches on the waterline belt, 1-inch armor on the deck, and the rest of the driver steering box, which would be in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, would be the conning tower, was 9 inches. The Virginia only had 3 inches of side armor, and the Monitor wasn't able to sink the Virginia. The Virginia wasn't able to sink the Monitor with her guns, even though it only had 3 to 5 inches of armor on the sides. The Virginia you face in game, well, they vary each time you restart the mission, but it usually has over 7, sometimes over 9 inches of armor, is 3 to 4 times faster than it should be, and has anywhere between 8 to 10-inch guns down its broadside. So, as you can imagine, the original, the purpose-built, almost identical to the real Monitor that you send in against that, just got torn in half in under 10 minutes. It was brutal. So what we've done here is I've bought out a new version of the Monitor. This one here is scaled up to match the threat of this scaled up Virginia. So the Monitor we have here has twin 12-inch guns in the main turret. It's slightly faster at 6.5 knots over 6 knots to the real Monitor, but she's got 10.3 inches of armor down the side. She's got 10 inches of armor around the gun. She's got 10 inches of armor around the steer box, 1.5 inches of deck armor, 2 inches in the bow and stern, and she's got an additional 2 inches in the bow and stern on the side plates. So she's more heavily armed, she's more heavily armored, she's slightly faster, she's actually a match for the Virginia that you have been faced against. That being said, this still took almost the entire length of time that the battle is available to complete. You're given 1 hour to sink the Virginia or get sunk yourself, and we almost ran out of time. I did also notice some really odd effects in regards to fire damage. I'm not entirely sure if that's something that's going on with this patch, because there have been some funky damage modeling stuff over the last couple of patches for Dreadnoughts, which is actually part of the reason why I haven't covered it in a while. I've been waiting for those to get worked out. Or whether or not this is just because these are April Fool's hulls that may not have been completely finalized before they were added. Regardless, I do hope that these are tidied up and left in the game. And I hope the missions remain in the game as well, because these were actually quite fun to play, despite some of the frustrations that I encountered. So this battle is just going to be Monitor versus Virginia, and I'm going to be back soon with Virginia versus the Monitor. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. Like she'll sink. Oops, we're on fire. Looks like they can penetrate the bunker in the front. Okay then. It's alright, I think we're still winning this fight at this point, although 93 over 99. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Yeah, this is much better with the higher reload rate. Although she's still getting roughly 3 salvos to every one of ours. Funnel damage and fire this time. Blew straight through the top deck. The other one splashed down once again. So that's going to interfere with the engines as well. Which more damage to the funnels, the better. I'm happy with that. Damage main tower. Once again, hit the same spot and starts a fire. So clearly the bunker on the front that represents the main tower doesn't have any armor to speak of. Not really, anyway. Fud, fud, fud. No penetrations. She is getting faster, though. Let's bring it up to 4 knots. And here comes another salvo. Ooh, another flooding. Where? I think that penetrated an already flooded compartment. I think that penetrated this one. Which is good in a way. It means they're never going to pump these out. These aren't getting pumped out, but I really could have used something a little bit more to the rear. This one or this one would have been fine. Just to push her under. We're at 95, 89. Getting a little closer than I would like at this point. I want to keep a little bit of range. Speed 3 knots. And turn away. She's slowly turning towards us, closing the gap. I don't want that. I do love the shells spinning off. They need splash effects when they hit the water. They absolutely need splash effects. Fire on the bow, directly above the fronted compartments. Monitor, you've got to hit the stern. I need you to shoot the stern. I'd love to have some kind of control here where I could indicate, you know, where I want the shells to target or where I want the guns to target. Even if it's just by a section of the ship. Maybe, you know, here on the damage model, select here, you know, or, you know, click one of the boxes or something to indicate where I want the guns to try and focus fire. But you sort of don't have control. Might be a feature later, but it's just not one at the moment. Almost reloaded. We should be fast forwarding through the reloads a little bit more often. Once again, a hit to the front. Oh, that's interesting. She had managed to pump out those forward compartments and we've just flooded them again. Only 2 of them this time, though. This is the problem. We're hitting a bow really hard. We really need to be hitting a stern. I don't want to turn into her, though. If we get too close, we might not... I don't know what the depression is on the monitor's guns, but I don't know whether or not she'll be able to get them down far enough to the holes in the hull if she gets too close. We're gonna have to... Yeah, we're gonna have to turn away. way too close now. Much closer than I want to get to. No, we're at 300 meters. That's almost pull out the muskets and start trying to shoot at one another that way sort of ranges. Alright. It's getting better. That's towards the stern. That's the place I want to be hitting, but accuracy's kind of trash. Alright, she's turning towards us. More ricochets, nothing serious with that one. There'll be another salvo coming up just before we get there. It is. All ricochets or misses. Okay, well that's that front section of the ship flooded again. I know they were trying to pump it out, but that's not going to be happening now. So with the number of times we've hit the front section of this ship with 12-inch guns, this thing should be just about ready to shear off in the front. And there's the engine going again. Now that's good. It means she can't run away from us and she can't keep trying to push and close range. So let's turn back and drop speed down to 4. Actually, let's keep the angle. What are we at? 500 meters is better. 500 meters is better. Shot's just about ready. Come on, go for the rear. Flutter rear. Oh, the shots are going the right direction. You just keep missing them. Right, so now we can turn. Go to 3 and see whether or not we can actually get our broadside back with no angling. We most certainly don't need the angling at the very least, but just let her catch up so she's got no angle to us. Right, should be at about 4 knots, judging by her close, or closure. Again, a hit on the bow. So 94 of 100, we're doing much better. 65 flotation, she's pumping out the bow section again. It looks like this compartment can't be pumped out, but they're pumping out the bow section, they're pumping out back here. And we're not getting enough damage down the rear to try and flood her completely. So they just keep fixing her. I'm kind of curious on how they manage to keep plugging up, you know, the massive entry and exit wounds these guns should be causing, but nevertheless, that seems to be what's happening. Alright, our shot. Miss again. RNG seems to be hating us with our rolls at this point. We've got an 80% chance to hit. I think it's the 3rd or 4th salvo we've fired without actually doing anything. And fire on the main tower again. All of the hits are on that that forward bunker. That section of the ship's almost completely burned out. And only 93, so it's not causing us too much in the way of problems, but yeah. They're down to 50%. Alright, fire in the midsection, and that time we got a casemate. So what gun did we destroy? bow section a little back. Yeah, looking at that hit there, we destroyed one of the 8-inch guns. Port side 8-inch, one in. So she's only now got, well, she's still got 3 8-inch guns she can fire at us yet, but that's still one less shell. We've taken out 25% of her firepower on this side, so I will take that. This is working much better. It's just a matter of trying to crack her hull. I actually can't wait to build Virginia, because you're going to be able to turn her into an absolute monster. Put 10 inches of side armor on her with that angling, maybe 11 inches, and then just stack her full of, 10-inch guns down one side. And you should be able to rip a monitor in half, unless the computer does something completely absurd with the monitor, even more than I have. Alright, it's 39 to 93. And here's our reload. Partial penetration. What's our distance? We're back down to 0.4 kilometers, so let's turn away again. She's slowly creeping up on us. Down to 32. Another partial penetration. That is pretty. Nearly ready for their next reload. Yeah, we've just got her now. We're just going to drag her down. Ouch. Another hit back on that tower. No, we got to turn away. Turn away. Down to 0.4 again. So 400 meters, we're too close. Damage to the funnel again. I believe this has been ticking off for 25 minutes at this point, and we still haven't managed to crack her with 12-inch guns. And that hit the lunchbox and set it on fire. Okay, this is not good. That's burning right through stem to stern. And the fire's down into the bottom of the hull now. 74%. We're losing this fast. We've got a... Come on, monitor. Time to stop messing around. Finish it. It's getting awfully accurate with those guns now. Partial penetration. These are the biggest guns you can get, and it's struggling to get through 7.3 inches of armor. Main tower is now completely destroyed. That's going to interfere with our accuracy. Yeah, our hit chance is down to 54% now, instead of 80% like it was before, where her towers haven't taken any damage at all. I'm not sure if you can even damage them. So her chance to hit us is probably still around 80, which is why we're getting ripped apart at this point. So we're down to 54. We've just dropped. This burning hasn't stopped. We've lost 40% and not even hitting them. 49. $45, fire still burning. Finally. Hit to the aft, but we hit high again, so it's only a fire. 15%. Her fire's out, our fire's out. 44 down on 15. Come on, monitor, you can do better than this. Partial penetration. I'm not sure. This, even with the odd... What's it burning now? Let's assume metal does burn. This section of the ship has been burnt that much now, it shouldn't be able to continue lighting up like this. There should be nothing left. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but this seems... something seems funky with the gun penetrations. We shouldn't be getting partial penetrations with 12-inch guns, even with these angles that are involved. At 5 kilometers, at 500 meters rather. And a lot of these shots here shouldn't be penetrating or doing anything. Fire and flooding again, and again it looks like it's in the bow, and it's exactly the same 3 compartments as the other 12 times we've managed to penetrate the bow and start the flooding. Also, apparently we've got fire burning underwater, so that's an interesting new feature. I haven't actually seen that happening. And it looks like we've taken out both of her engines this time. Still only 15% on structure though. So, and we're still burning to death inside of the decks at the moment. We've got fires underneath the guns, and we've got fires in the lower hull in the front. So we're still burning, despite the fact that hers has already ended, and she's already pumping the compartments clear again. How? There's got to be partial penetration. I can't even begin to imagine how many holes there is from here to here. How are they pumping this compartment out? It should be torn open. It should look like the front of the Titanic at this point. complete miss. Yeah, now the fact that we've lost the forward tower after just getting repetitively hit and set on fire over and over again, now we're struggling. Our chance to hit's down to 28%. We're just not getting shots into the target. And we've lost most of our engine propulsion. We've only got 4 knots left at this point. They've fixed their engines again, and they've pumped out that compartment again. This time the bow is staying flooded, however, so it looks like at least one compartment, in addition to the previous ones, is actually staying flooded this time. The only thing I can do to increase our chances to hit is start closing back in, but that means we may not be able to get shots through the hull if we get close enough. I'm not sure if the guns can depress close enough to be able to hit, but we've only got these shots, so we've got to be able to hit in the first place, even if we can't hit the hull. So we'll close for an intercept. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Destroyed 2 casemates. Whoa, hold up. Yeah, the main tower has already been destroyed, so I'm not sure how it's burning after it's been destroyed, but anyways. Let's have a look here. It looks like she's lost all of the casemate guns. She's lost this one. She's lost that one, and I think... No, that one still seems to be intact. At least she's only got 2 guns to fire at us now. We still managed to hit. We should have a 100% chance to hit now. With a 26% chance to pen. And from here it looks like the primary spots to pen are... That's going to be in the midsection from the looks. Still on 15, 58, we're down to 35. She's going to get a reload before we do. And no pens or bounces. And here's ours. Partial penetration. 2 kilometers with 12-inch guns, partial penetration. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining it. This does seem to be some funky happenings in regards to armor penetration here. This isn't making as much sense as I would like it to make. Finally, a shot to the rear. We've got some rearward flooding going on. That might finally be it. 21, 16, steering is now out. Drop speed 2 knots. Nope, holding at 16. She's not going to sink. And she's fighting it at the moment. And structure's only down to 11 because there's nothing left to burn, and she's still got 11% structure. Another casemate destroyed. she lose? She lost another gun on this side. No, apparently she didn't. She seems to still have plenty of guns that are firing. How are we destroying... Unless... Are we destroying the casemates on the other side? Whoa. She's listing real hard there. Damn it, fires on the rear again. Time's running out. It's nearly taken the full hour to get it to this point. Come on, one more shot to the midsection. Well, there goes our funnel, so there goes most of our speed. Come on, give it another good one. Honestly, at this point, let's just go to full stop and we're just going to battle it out here. There's no point in continuing to move now. I want to stay on this side because this is the side that sustained all the damage. So I want to punch through this side and finish it. Come on. Miss. On fire again. Our own engine's been damaged. There we go, we finally got another compartment flooding. That might fight this. That was kind of insane. The amount of damage it took and the amount of time it took and the amount of hits that thing took to finally go down, the damage control on it was beyond nuts. If players have access to that kind of damage control when they play Virginia, Virginia will be unbeatable with the right build. I'm going to go do that now. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts will be returning to the channel very soon, and until then, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, take care.